Look at this. What is this, a red-tailed hawk? Well, other than a bird in captivity, this is the closest I've ever been to a bird of prey in the wild. How you doing, buddy? It's okay. I'm not sure what this is, but it's a sizable bird. Huh. I'll leave you be. I'll leave you be. How about that? It's 2 days after the shooting in Montreal. Seth Hatfield, a 25-year-old young adult, drives from Alberta all the way across the country to Montreal to perpetrate a shooting. Now, I am 100% convinced this is a false flag event, a Manchurian candidate type person. Okay, let's see how many boxes this checks off. And some of the boxes don't make sense, but let's see how many it checks off. Okay, number one, he's white. Number two, he's a loner, he's an incel. And now this is based on what the mainstream media is reporting through his 104-page manifesto. Him being an incel, automatically it is aligned with not liking women. So he's a woman hater. He's from Alberta. He's an incel. He has anti-government views. He used a gun, an SKS, semi-automatic Russian-designed rifle, to perpetrate the crime. It's a gun that isn't currently on the ban list of guns in Canada, but it's been a gun talked about for years now. They want to get it banned. So he used the exact gun they want to get banned. He goes to a province, to a city that is the most against legalized or gun ownership. There's a member of parliament that represents, I think it's in the Montreal area, but definitely Quebec, and her name is Natalie Provost. Now, Natalie Provost was injured in the Polytechnique shooting in 1989. She was shot 4 times. And obviously, I'm not disparaging Natalie. She was obviously a part of a violent shooting, but ever since 1989, she's been the voice of anti-gun legislation put forth by mostly the Liberal government. And all these things are adding up to a perfect storm. Seth Hatfield leaves or gives the CBC a 104-page manifesto outlining, his Marxist views, his leftist views, his anti-government views, his dislike for Jewish people, his dislike for what the internet has caused his perceived shortcomings with women in life. Hence, he was outside the head office of Pornhub, I'm to understand. So that's another box checked off, right? The WEF people of the world are pushing for internet censorship. They don't want internet for people under 16 years old because it forms opinions that are not so dissimilar to Seth. Now, I said in my video a day before the shooting, I was talking about how Jason Kenney was in an interview with Corey Tenechny, and he was bringing up, or he focused on, white supremacy, white nationalism, far right-wing extremism. Now, a day after that video, I posted that video, this happens in Montreal. And it is the poster child for what Jason Kenney was talking about. With the exception that I'd have to say that Seth Hatfield was not a far alt-right person. His views, based on his manifesto, were surrounding Marxism and communism and one world government. He said this in his manifesto. Many people have read through the manifesto. I haven't even looked at it, but based on other people's that I trust, information provided to me from the manifesto, it comes across, he's an intelligent person. It comes across that it possibly, it could possibly have been generated by AI, a lot of it. And he goes into great detail all the wrongs that capitalism has done to Western society and to him. So obviously, when I said in my video yesterday, not obviously, but when I said in my video yesterday that the mainstream media, the bought and paid for liberal mainstream media, would be spinning a political angle to it for their benefit and for the liberals' benefit. I was 100% right with that. They are trying to spin it as this guy is a white nationalist, a white right-wing extremist that had a gun that should be banned, went from a province that wants to have independence from the rest of Canada, separation from the rest of Canada, and he drives thousands of kilometers to go to Montreal to perpetrate this crime. He shoots, he shoots a cop. I think he's a Muslim cop, okay? His first name was Muhammad. So he shoots a cop, kills the cop. He may or may not have shot the rabbi, okay? Now, it would indicate, or it would appear to me, that the police officer, the female police officer, shot the rabbi, but it's possible that the shot came from Seth's rifle, his SKS, and struck the rabbi in the head. It's possible, okay? So, in my video yesterday, I said it was cut and dry, 100% that the female cop shot the rabbi. That could be wrong, but a lot of people, everyone that I've seen in mainstream media, or sorry, not mainstream media, but alternative media, were saying that that she did shoot the civilian, the rabbi. Now, I'm thinking she did as well, but there's a possibility that Seth unalived the rabbi. Now, regardless, okay, so a Jewish person is dead, a cop is dead, a Muslim cop is dead, a female cop apparently got shot 6 times in the back running away. This is the reports I've heard, 6 times. How do you get shot 6 times by a 7.62 by 39 high velocity rifle in the back and survive that? So I don't, and I know she's probably wearing body armor, but not body armor that would stop a high velocity rifle round. It would be a level 3A body armor that would stop up to a 44 Magnum pistol round. So I'm assuming this. Now, I don't know how she survived 6 shots in the back, but she did. Now, like I said, I don't know. This is what I've heard. It was 6 shots. These guns, these SKSs hold 10 rounds, or they could hold 10 rounds in a fixed magazine. So you have to load them with a stripper clip. So it's you push 10 rounds into the gun. It's not so dissimilar that, as a Lee Enfield from World War I or World War II, where you push the bullets into the magazine, or an M1 Garand. But in Canada, you're only allowed to have 5 rounds in a magazine. So I guess there's some sort of device in there that won't allow 10, but I'm sure he had that removed. Now, where do you get the gun from? The way I'm thinking, this guy had government support. He had intelligence support to obtain the gun, to be allowed, well, not to be allowed, but to facilitate his travel across the country, to set up in Montreal in a somewhat Jewish area. People are reporting it's a predominantly Jewish area. I'm hearing that it's not. I don't know that area of Montreal. I know there's a large Jewish community in Montreal. I understand that. Regardless, a Jewish person is dead, and the Jewish community is speaking out against this. So there is truth that this is a Jewish community. The guy dresses in camo. I think he had a bandolier on him for his extra ammunition. So picture this. I purposely don't wear camouflage when I'm on my bike or walking around because it draws too much attention to you. So this guy is in a busy part of Montreal wearing full camo, possibly a bandolier with extra ammunition on him, carrying a semi-automatic rifle. And apparently he was up in a hotel where the windows were blasted out of it. Then he ends up on the street. Then the cops show up with their sidearms. They don't have long guns. If you haven't seen the video is disturbing, of all the female police running around, apparently not knowing what to do. And you know, obviously the male, or the policeman that was shot and killed, was a male. So you know, the training is obviously going to come under scrutiny. And many people are scrutinizing the lack of training that the Montreal police exhibited during this emergency event. Now, I had one person in my comment section yesterday saying, well, you know, the police aren't trained for this, they're not equipped for this, they didn't sign up for this. And that's what this person said. Now, so I said in my my rebuttal to this person, I said, well, yes, the police did sign up for this. The police are trained for this, okay? Now, why, like I've said in my videos, why do people want to become police? Why do you want to become police? I'm going to tell you the main reason people want to become a police officer. The main reason is it's a good paying government job, okay? It gives you clout within a certain mindset, a certain community, that it's a noble profession, okay? So now you get all these female cops that go to the police training, police college, police academy, whatever you want to call it. You get all these female cops that get pictures with their parents, get pictures with their grandparents. Maybe their parents were cops, maybe their grandparents were cops, maybe their parents were military, etc., etc. Now, 5'3" cop. A lot of the police forces in Canada now don't even require stringent fitness levels. So a lot of these police officers that go through this, I don't know how long the training is, maybe 3 months. They go to the range. Hold on a second, got another fucking Karen here with her dogs. There's literally a Karen 40 feet from me with her 2 dogs staring at me. To my point from my past videos, this lady, like I'm in a place where I'm out of the way, and I picked this place on purpose. This lady comes around the corner with 2 little black dogs, and literally she's snooping, and that's what these Karens do with their dogs. That's all they do is snoop. She literally, her dog laid down. Like, I get dogs have a sense for me. They know they want to come and see me. I get it. But this lady, I'm telling you. Oh, and I got another one coming to my right now. When you sit down and do these videos with these cameras, it's like a moth to lights for insane liberal Karens with their dogs. I got another one to my right now. So I lost where I was there. It's unbelievable. This is unbelievable. I try to get new spots to do these videos, and you'd have to see this to believe this. So, why do people want to become cops? Like I said, people think it's a noble profession, but no, it's more they get paid well, and they get a killer pension, and they get a lot of doors open for them. They get a lot of perks. They get cheaper insurance. They have a network of people that support them. They have a network of people that watch their back. That's why people become cops, okay? Then they go through a training. They go to like I said, they go to the range, and they learn how to shoot various types of weapons. But a lot of police don't maintain their marksmanship. They don't go to the range. I'm sure a lot do. I'm sure a lot are gung-ho. A lot of other people become cops for that gun. It's a power trip. It's a power trip. Listen, I go through the forest at night. I walk through forests at night. I walk through every part of the city in Toronto, and I am unarmed. I do not have a pistol on me, okay? Would I feel safer if I did have a pistol on me? 100% I'd feel safer if I had a pistol or 2 pistols on me. Yes, I would. It gives people, although it gives people a false sense of security, because when you pull this out, you better be prepared to use it. And this female cop pulled out her gun 2 days ago in Montreal and wasn't prepared to use it. She shot, yes, like this, like bang, 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 all over the place. She may or may not have killed the rabbi. I don't know. If she did, that's very bad. And if she didn't, that's very good that she didn't kill him. Honestly, I hope she didn't shoot him. I hope it was this liberal globalism created shooter, that they facilitated his travel from Alberta to Montreal. He went, like I said in my video when I was talking about Jason Kenney, itemizing white nationalism, white supremacy, far alt-right mentality. When I was outlining that, I also said, well, actually, no, I didn't say it in that video. I said it in a video when I was talking about the 3-year-old that was fed to the crocodiles in the UK, which apparently it came back. It was a mentally handicapped person that they brought to a zoo where there's crocodiles and left them unattended. So that's under the carpet already. But in that video, I said, if that was a white person that did that, they'd know my background within 10 minutes, what school I went to, how old I was, my political allegiance, what my parents did. And within 10 minutes of this shooting in Montreal, that's exactly what happened. The CBC comes out with a 104-page manifesto. Somehow Ezra Levant from Rebel News got this manifesto. I don't know how he got it. But like I said in my video yesterday, it was wrapped up in a box with a nice shiny bow on top. Here you go. Right now, this country is crumbling from a financial standpoint. We got Mark Carney bailing out his Chinese triad buddies in BC with their condos, their developers. That's what he's doing. He's bailing out organized crime by buying up these condos. He's bailing them out. He's bailing out banks, but he's bailing out his Chinese overlords. That's who he's bailing out. They needed a diversion. They needed the diversion, and I'm telling you, and I'm going to stress this again. I'm going to put something across here the average person may or may not know. Okay, I've never called the cops in my life. I've said that in many of my videos. I've never dialed 911. I've never called a non-emergency number. Never. Now, a lot of people use the cops as their servants, and I mean, or their muscle, their disciplinary wing of their mindset. So a lot of people, they'll have a beef with their neighbor, okay? And it's a beef that could possibly be solved through conflict resolution between the two people. But instead, no, this person will want to call the cops and bear false witness against the neighbor. They'll tell the cops on the phone that the neighbor was threatening them. The neighbor may or may not have guns. The neighbor acts strange. He said very inflammatory comments towards the person. This could all be false. So now the cops are already going there to the person that called the cops with the mindset that they might be dealing with someone that's dangerous, because this liberal Karen has put that in the person who received the call's head, and they got to transfer that to what the active police on the ground that are going to go answer the call. They have to give them background on what's going on. So now it's like swatting someone, where you pick up the phone and you say there's this address and there's firearms in this house. Next thing you know, you got the ETF, in our situation in Toronto, the Emergency Task Force, come to your house with their C8s and all sorts of different weapons to kick down a door of an innocent person. So now that innocent person that's in the house thinks they're getting a home invasion, and they might have a firearm in there. Next thing you know, they're banging it out with the cops. And today is Mark Pinizzato's funeral, the emergency task force officer that got shot last week or a week and a half ago in Toronto. And I'm going to get into that in a second. Today's his funeral. So a lot of these people use the police to do their bullying because they're not stand up enough to resolve it themselves. And I'm not saying in every case that you can resolve it without police interaction. I'm not saying that. Some people do need the police. I am not one of those people that need the police. I don't give a shit what happens to me. I am not calling the police. Someone could come and shoot and stab me right now. I'm not calling the police. I might call an ambulance. And of course the police are going to investigate it at the hospital, and they're going to have to investigate it because they're not getting no information from me. Whoever comes and puts harm on me in this park right now, if I live, I'm gonna try to solve it myself when I get able to do that, or I'm gonna have someone help me that I know. And that's what I'm saying there, and believe that. That's where my mindset is. So I went off on a bit of a tangent there. I'm obviously hot the last little while. Anyhow, so police, when they encounter a situation like what happened in Montreal 2 days ago, they are ill-equipped to deal with it. They just try to gain as much money from their overtime, from their extra pay, from doing paid duty, paid security, court pay. Okay? And when something like this happens, when the Liberal government facilitates a guy like Seth Hatfield, when the Liberal government and maybe some alphabet organizations in this country facilitate it too, and I'm not talking about the LGBTQ or BLM type people, I'm talking other law enforcement, security agencies. You're telling me this guy's not on the radar? They know everything about this guy already. CBC gets a 104-page manifesto. Come on. Listen, let's go over this again. Let's go over this again. He's from Alberta. He's white. SKS. He got a lot of his radicalization through the internet, okay? The CBC obtains a copy of his manifesto, release it 10 minutes after the cop is pronounced dead. It's in Montreal. He hates women. He may or may not have killed a Jewish person. He killed another cop, may or may not be a Muslim, first name Muhammad, good chance he's a Muslim. He shot a woman 6 times in the back running away. And he does it in a province where Canada's largest voice against legalized guns is in that province, Natalie Provo. Okay, so let's get back to the funeral of the emergency task force officer today in Toronto, Mark Pinizzotto. By all accounts, stand-up guy, ex-hockey player, 18-year veteran, 5 years with the emergency task force, beautiful wife, beautiful twin kids, a daughter and a son. And they're laying him to rest today. So I'm probably going to watch the funeral. It's early in the morning here. I'm probably going to watch the funeral. And as much as I don't align myself with police, I don't want to see these cops falling. I don't, okay? A lot of people in my comment section say, oh, good riddance. The more gone, the better. They're getting what they deserve. And okay, I don't advocate that thought process, but they've signed up for this. Now, the person who has been charged with first-degree murder for Mark Pinizzotto's shooting is a guy by the name of Nicholas Bennett. How come they won't even post a picture of him? And I said this in my video before. They post a silhouette of him. Jara Zabi, the other guy they caught at the airport, the 19-year-old, they posted his picture all over the place. How come they haven't posted a picture of the person who shot Mark Pinizzotto? How come they haven't posted a picture of him? How come we don't know what school he went to? How come we don't know what his parents did? But we know everything about this guy that drives across the country, checks off all the boxes for a liberal distraction, false flag. We know everything about this guy, but we don't know anything about the guy that unalives an 18-year veteran of the TPS, 5-year veteran of the emergency task force. Like, the emergency task force is like SWAT in the US. They're the top dogs. How does the emergency task force officers gain entry to that apartment, breach that door in that apartment, and I guess Mark was first, I don't know. He gets shot. I don't know where he got shot. They don't have those body armor shields. They don't have flashbangs. Like, how did this 19-year-old Nicholas Bennett get the jump on highly trained emergency task force officers? I understand in Montreal, they're sending out DEI hires. They don't even know how to hold their gun. I understand how they're getting killed. I get that. But how does Mark Pinizzotto get killed? You see this guy? This guy's like he looks like a racehorse. He's a specimen of a man, okay? Highly trained guy. Like, these guys are gung-ho. And they're wearing, I would imagine they're wearing, you know, body armor that can stop high velocity rounds. And I don't know what Mark got shot with. Something isn't adding up here. We are not given the truth whatsoever. That's why I don't believe anything. I don't believe anything the mainstream media, the government tells me. I don't. Now listen, now you can say to me, hey, I'm anti-government. You can paint that picture of me. You can paint that picture. I'm, like I've said in my videos before, I'm far alt-right. And if something was ever set up regarding me doing something like that, that's exactly how it would be painted. It would be painted, this guy is unhinged lunatic, he's anti-government, and that is not the truth. That is not the truth. But that's what CBC, that giant building down on Front Street, that giant propaganda snot and puke factory down on Front Street, that's why they're paid so high to churn that bullshit out. This guy, Seth Hatfield, was a product of Mark Carney, a product of Justin Trudeau, a product of what's going on in Canada, the culture in Canada. You got people that are the Poison Dart Frog hairdos, the Septum Ring crowd, the Starbucks, the pro-Palestinian rally type people, which I've been to lots of those. I know the type of people they are. They're unhinged. You got these people going on social media, and I had one person on mine more or less wishing I was dead, but I got there's lots of people that I've seen through alternative media with their comments saying that it's cut and dry. It's cut and dry. He's a far right-wing extremist that hates women. That's it, from Alberta. That's everyone in Alberta. So now they're painting everyone in Alberta the same as what Seth Hatfield is. Listen, I'm telling you right now, you got the four floor crossers. Put this into perspective. You got those 4 floor crossers that cross from 3 from the Conservatives, 1 from the NDP into the Liberal Party. Why did they cross? They knew their name was going to be smeared the rest of their lives, but they did it. Okay, they did it. Why'd they do it? Money, blackmail, promises of grandeur. Who knows? But they did it. So you're going to tell me that a guy like Seth Hatfield can't be coerced to do what he did 2 days ago? Nope. You're not going to tell me that, because they have ways to do it. A lot smarter people than me can do shit like that. They can do whatever they want, trust me. And that's not conspiratorial. If you just dig a little bit below the surface and start realizing that, especially the Liberal government, is not your friend, the quicker you'll come to my conclusions as well. So, in closing, wrap this video up. Seth Hatfield was a Manchurian candidate. At the very least, he's a product of what the Liberal government has brought to this country the past 11 years. He's a product. He's been forced to do this, or he has been paid to do this. He's promised something. Who knows? It's not so dissimilar to these lone lunatics in the States. Butler, Pennsylvania. Others that have taken shots at Trump, supposedly. Whether it happened or not, whether I believe it or not, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're never going to get the truth. The truth is what the current Liberal government tells you the truth is, because they own the media. And they're doing everything in their power to shut down people like me talking. They don't want people like me talking, because it gives people an alternative thought process. It gives people a different view of what is being churned out by the Liberal propaganda machine, MSM, CBC, CTV, whatever. Oh man, I'm getting fired up in these videos. Anyhow, that's going to be the video. You got any questions, comments, or concerns, put it in the comment section. Behind me, I got these friggin' hawks or whatever these birds are. They're flying all over the place. Interesting day today. Thanks for watching. Bye.